Okay, everyone, I'm back. This is Margaret, and I just wanted to post a new video that I am so inspired by. Once again, I just got the latest Elle cover, well, Elle magazine with the cover of Adele on it, and she just looks really amazing. I know I just posted a Elle look that I did, that I got inspired, that I did of the Academy Award look that she had, and it was just really beautiful. But this one is like kind of a takeoff of, like, to me, a very retro-esque style, which I think she's really amazing with that kind of look. But this one's kind of like, Julie Christie of, Dr. Zhivago or something like that. Something really cool, So anyway, here is my take on it, and I just wanted to share my rendition and inspiration of what I got inspired by the cover. Okay, so basically I did a very fair foundation, and again, just using really beautiful textures of foundation. Like a silky texture is really important, not something that's too cakey. And obviously I have a lot of powder on her face right now because I have the fallout powder, because I'm going to be doing a very smoky eye. So what I'm doing right now is I'm lining Drea's eyes in a very kind of a soft, smudgy pencil, because this is really, I think, going to really help bring that punch out of the smokiness. And so what I'm going to do now with my brush is I'm going to take my brush and just really smudge it out. But yet I want the intensity of the black to really come through. Now if you look at the cover of Elle with Adele on it, I mean, her eyes are very smoky, but it's also very diffused. The lighting's very diffused, and it's printed very diffused. But if you were to look at it with, just a naked eye, it's really smudged out and smoky, and it's beautiful. I love it. I love that look. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the brush and just kind of rimming it around the eyeliner in the lash line area, just to really soften it out a little bit, but still add the deepness of the black. And so just slowly but surely just kind of go through each area, really just carefully, and just making sure that it's all even, and really soften at the edges, I think. But the intensity of the lash line is really important, and making sure that everything looks really even. Now, obviously this, smoky eye, everyone has a different rendition, but I think this one in particular is very it's much more retro feel to it because of the shape that I'm doing. So right now what I'm doing is I'm putting the highlighter, and I'm really texturizing the eyes with the eyeliner, because when you're doing any type of smoky eye, you want to make sure that you have enough structure and symmetry. Otherwise it's going to look like a panda bear or a raccoon, and you can really look horrible if you don't really add the lights in the right place, especially for the type of face structure you have. You have to really be careful. So study your face when you do this, because it could be a fine line of looking really glamorous, or like literally like some type of caricature. So just be careful about, where you place dark colors and light colors. If you want to learn any techniques or whatever, and you're curious to become a makeup artist, I suggest you can take my online training at www.mkcbeautyacademy.com. I have a really intensified online training program that is really good, and I'll teach you all the tricks of the trade. And you can also do private classes with me, or blended classes. So contact me through my website, www.mkcbeautyacademy.com. And also, my tutorials have a lot of tricks of the trade, secrets, and things like that. But for those who are really serious, definitely take my class. So now what I'm doing, after I did the highlighting, I'm putting, I'm using a cream shadow, and I'm using an ebony black, and this one has a little bit of a sparkle in it, because I wanted to do a little bit of my version of it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my straight it's not a fluffy head, it's a very straight, flat head brush. For me, I like this brush. Not a lot of people can use it if they're not comfortable with it, but to me, I love this brush for this effect. And I'm just gonna go right into the whole aspect of the lid. See right there? But I'm rounding it around. I'm not making and I'm not pulling it out, or I'm just keeping really kind of on the round surface of the lid, the whole lid, and just making the eyes look more rounded rather than pull them out, or as I call them, bat them out. I'm not batting them out. I'm just really going right along and stopping right at the inner crease of the lid. And see how I'm just doing that. And with this, you have to make sure to be careful about, you know, getting the shape mismatched. You want to make sure that you try to match it up as balanced and you know, perfectly as possible. Now, smoky eyes are very tricky when you are not aware of how to do them, so you may have to practice this look before you go out and really wear it. Try to practice it a few times and then really just make sure that you know how to place it appropriately onto the face. Okay, so see how that's really starting to really pop out. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking my rounded brush and my loose rounded brush, and I'm blending a little bit of like a soft gray, kind of pearlized gray powder, and I'm just blending that into the black right on the inner crease. And this, what this does is it actually softens that harsh kind of gradation. It adds gradation, but it also softens that line from the inner crease onto the brow bone, and it gives it a little bit more gradation and softness, but yet still keeps the effect of this look intact. So see how that I'm doing that is just I'm going right in the inner crease with a little bit of the gray shimmer powder, and I'm just going right in and softening it and balancing it out, and just look at how much prettier that looks. Before it was a little too harsh. So I'm just going to take a little bit more and just add a little bit more just right there, just because I don't want such a heavy line, and yet I do want that effect of that smoldering feel, if you will. So I'm taking a little bit of my more compact blending brush, and I'm really going in to just blend it in a little bit more. There you go. And so see how now I'm just kind of blending and cleaning and softening those little edges. And to me, this really has a strong impact, but at the same time, it really does create a nice elegance to it. It has a nice retro feel to it, and I love this look. I really, really love this look to go out to the clubs, to, you know, want to add some drama to your look. Even, you know, like brides may want to go a little bit more dramatic, so you can do a smoky eye like this. I mean, this is obviously very in right now with so many celebrities wearing this look. But for me, my inspiration came from the Elle cover that Adele's on in May, and it's just such a great look on her, and I loved it, and I got super inspired. So I couldn't wait to show you guys how to do it. So now I'm just going and taking that gray again and just going right underneath, and I'm just going to intensify the lash line a little bit more. I'm going back in with my soft pencil. I mean, this pencil is super soft, so it's gonna definitely go on very easily, and this will definitely help the eye pop out a little bit. I'm just gonna go right into the inner part of the line right there. There you go, and just kind of carry it in. Just right on, they call it the water line, so just go right onto the water line, and then just ever so gently, don't go too hard on it, okay? Just ever so gently, just glide it right on, and see how this just, you can see how it's just building a punch. So now I'm going to put some blush on, and I'm going with a very soft Now, if you look at the cover of Elle with Adele, it's very, everything's soft and muted. So I'm going to go with that, and I have a little bit of shimmer powder as well, just to bring out the dimensions of her face, but I'm going right on the ledge of the cheekbone like that, and just mixing it with a little bit of a shimmer powder, and just creating a very soft effect. So see how that's just so soft, and I'm using a very nutmeggy, kind of earthy tone, but in a very kind of soft sort of way. It really brings out a little bit of the auburn in her hair, and it really is a nice complement to the lid, and just how it just balances that heaviness from the eyelids to the face. It really does create a nice thing that it doesn't pop out too much on the face, you know. I think that's really what you have to do, is be careful about really overdoing it. Now with the lips, you know, I'm really thinking supernatural, so that's probably the direction most of you may want to go with this look, to keep it tailored down. So as you see, I'm doing the mascara. I'm really just trying to bring as much black on the inner surface of her eyes out, because I think that's what really creates the drama and the intensity of the smoky look. But it's a great look. So, but I'm just really putting as much and depth into the lash and the lash line area from using the black and using really black mascara. So there you go. I'm just going to go right there, just really lengthen it, and you can see how it's starting to really build. And I'm just going to go right on the lower lash and just kind of coat each lash as we finish up this look. And see how the blush is just so, it's just soft, but it supports. And that's really what you want, is you don't want overdone cheeks. You want just soft, kind of just feminine, pretty cheeks. And you don't want to go too much with the intensity of the cheek. You really want to draw the attention to the eyes rather than the cheeks. So everything, the lips and the cheeks are pretty much an accessory to what the eyes are saying. And if you look at that cover, really your eyes just draw right to Adele's eyes. It's so beautiful, such a beautiful look. So, and I'm leaving her brows alone, because otherwise then it'll be too, I think this look too manicured. And I think that's what's really nice about leaving the brows really natural with this, is that it creates a real softness with a very intense eye. And I'm going with a super beige neutral lip, and I think this is what really kind of pulls the cheeks and the lips together, but also supports the eyes. And look how pretty it is. I love this look. It's so pretty, and Adele looks amazing in it, and I just wanted to show you guys how to do it. If you guys wanted to learn, this is my way and my inspiration of it. There's definitely different ways. So have fun, girls and boys. And practice this look, practice, and definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be posting so much more to come. Sorry about the out of focus a little bit. So I don't know what's going on with my lens. I'll get that fixed. But stay tuned, subscribe, like, and share if you wish. And I will have some more very soon. Thanks so much for watching, and practice.